Please have your seats, please. We are ready to continue this session. Yeah, but we have to, okay. So, welcome for this last part of the day. We'll continue the session with the presidential and vice president candidate presentation. I leave the floor to President Erdener and the first Vice President Jörg Borkamp.
Constance, thank you very much. President, thank you very much. You may wonder, I'm sitting here and not over there. It seems to be something special is on the way. Yes, that's true. It's something special, like every 20 years in our federation. So we will be electing a new president. And and this is really serious. And it's a procedure. We have to keep our rules. And everybody hopefully read them because it had been in the papers. And we have a good board, electoral board here in our federation. And before we start with the presentation of the candidates, I kindly ask the chairwoman of this electoral board, Kebo Gobay, to us on the floor and give the report of the electoral board. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. At the 2019 Congress, as part of the governance reforms, an electoral board was created. The electoral board members are proposed by the executive board and approved by the Congress. The role of the electoral board are as follows: supervising the administrative process, monitoring compliance with regulations, ensure the correct application of the regulations, issuing instructions, admitting candidacy. The electoral board composed of 3 members: myself, Guo Bei, Mr. Chopo, Ms. Steven. Office Liaison, Constance Terrace, Chief Operating Officer from November 6, 2024. Previously, it was Tom Dielen, Secretary General. We carried out the following tasks. On November 6, 2024, the first meeting of the electoral board was called by Secretary General. And the Secretary General informed the board on conflict of interest since he intended to run for presidency, then left the meeting. Session was conducted in the presence of COO, and she became liaison officer. At the meeting, we discussed the work to be done by the electoral board and decide on our working method and procedure. Following the first meeting, electoral procedure and rules were revised. Electoral procedure and rules for 2025 Congress were finalized, submitted to the executive board for approval and release. Our electoral board working flow and procedure from March 6th to July 24th. COO forwards the nomination forms to our board. The electoral board members verified and made independent decisions based on the rules and the role description. If forms were incomplete, COO was requested to liaise with the member association to get missing information. For unprecedented situation or unclear rules, electoral board discussed and formed an opinion collectively. The results is open positions 33, received nominations 73, approved nominations 70, not approved 2, 1 exceeded maximum terms as position, 1 didn't match the role described, withdraw 1, recurve usher, and at this World Championships election for 1 compound man, 1 compound women, and para ushers. Voting delegates, proxy, and monitoring. 22 nomination forms from non-president and non-secretary general were forwarded by COO to the electoral board. We were reviewed and confirmed. List was published. Electoral board received 49 proxy voting forms. All were refined. To ensure the smooth running of this election, all members of the electoral board attended this Congress to jointly monitoring the entire election process. Reflection and suggestions. Expand the board membership, increase from 3 to 5. Clarified rules for voting delegates. Add special provisions for last-minute absence. Strengthen proxy voting procedure. Improve rule clarity. Caution against mass email solicitation for proxy votes. Thank you on behalf of the electoral board.
Thank you very much, Gubei, for this report. And we right away start now with the presentation of the candidates. And as it's written in the electoral rules and the procedures, I have to inform you, and also the candidates, we have for the president candidates a 10 minutes time slot for each, and for the vice presidents a 5-minute time slot for the presentations. So I will take the timing here, and if it's getting too long, I will interfere. I hope everybody knows it and is well prepared. So we start from the first candidate, and this will be the president candidate, and it's Greg Easton. No, it's Thomas, sorry, vice presidents first. Thomas Hahn, yes. Got already nervous.
Dear friends and distinguished delegates, good afternoon. I'm Thomas Hahn. I'm honored to stand before you as a candidate for the position of Vice President of World Archery. With over 2 decades of experience in international sports marketing and management industries, including my current role as a Vice President of World Archery since 2021, I bring both passion and proven commitment to the future of our sports archery. Today, I'd like to share my vision for the next chapter of our sports. My first priority is building stronger bridge with our continental federations. Drawing from my current experience with both World Archery and Continental Federation World Archery Asia, I understand the challenges and opportunities in our communications. So I will leverage this unique perspective to strengthen communication channels and enhance support for continental activities and create meaningful opportunities for collaboration across all continents. By doing so, we ensure balanced growth worldwide and make World Archery a true global family and moving forward together. My second commitment is to development of youth and para-archery. Our youth archers are the future champions and leaders of our sports. Over the past 4 years, I implemented a joint training program along with the challenge event in Asia. The Asia Challenge event provides young athletes with valuable opportunities to receive equipment tuning and personal coaching while competing at the final broadcasted venues. Through this program, participants can experience the international event atmosphere and foster friendship by playing the game as a mixed national team. Many archers who participate in this Asia Challenge event have grown into world-class archers now. In addition, inaugural Asian Youth Championship was held in Chinese Taipei in last year, 2024. Creating new opportunity for young archers. Building on this success, I will further expand Asian youth programs in close cooperation with the Olympic Council of Asia and extend them globally. Equally important is expanding para-archery, not only for the adults, but also for the youth para-archers. So we have successfully included para-archery competition to the Asian Youth Para Games this year. So I will work to expand para competition worldwide and ensure our sports remain inclusive and inspiring for every athlete. My third focus is to make a strong partnership with our member associations. This means delivering development programs tailored to each region's needs while helping smaller nations bridge the gap with the leading countries. I will encourage to expand this kind of knowledge exchange on a global scale. It also means fostering better communication between member associations and World Archery, ensuring transparency and efficiency and mutual trust. Only through this close partnership we can achieve greater success together. Dear friends and distinguished delegates, again, my vision is clear: to serve our sports with the unity, development, and partnership. We will invest in the next generation together. Together, we will embrace the true inclusivity. And together, we will elevate our sports archery. If given another opportunity to serve, I promise you to work even harder and deliver greater results for our global archery community. Let's make the future of archery together. Thank you for your trust and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hahn. It was really wonderful in time. It was 4 minutes 59 and seconds. Perfect. Well done. I kindly ask now Mr. Mark Miller.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Miller, and I'm a candidate for Vice President of World Archery. Many of you know me already in my qualifications and experience to be a Vice President. I've been actively involved with World Archery for nearly 25 years. This is my 13th World Archery Congress that I've attended since 2001. For 20 years, I was a member of the World Archery Constitution and Rules Committee, serving as the chairperson and a non-voting member of the executive board for 15 years. As part of the Constitution and Rules Committee, I was involved with every law, bylaw, and interpretation and most policy issues during that period. Since 2023, I have been a voting member of the World Archery Executive Board. I am currently a member of the World Archery Executive Board Strategy Working Group. In addition to my experience with World Archery, I've also served as North Region Vice President of World Archery Americas, as President and Director of USA Archery, and as a member of the USA Archery Board of Justice. This experience, particularly as President of a member association, has helped me better understand the challenges that member associations face and the importance of interaction with member associations. Professionally, I've been a corporate lawyer in Chicago for 45 years, and I'm a senior partner in a law firm with over 450 lawyers. I have found that my skills as a practicing lawyer has been useful in my service to World Archery. I continue to participate in tournaments, including this year the 2025 Vegas Shoot, the U.S. Indoor National Championships, and other local tournaments. As a result, I can better understand the consequences of the proposed rule changes from an athlete's standpoint. At these tournaments, I hear what is working at World Archery, but also what needs to be improved. During these 25 years with World Archery, I've worked with and developed friendships and relationships with individuals from member associations, the executive board, the World Archery staff, our committees, our partners, athletes from the grassroots to the elite level, tournament organizers, and sponsors. I've been fortunate to have been involved with World Archery during an exciting time when World Archery has made great advancements. For example, the most recent introduction of compounds into the Olympic Games. I'm running for this position because I believe that given my experience and passion for this sport, I'm well qualified and can do more for World Archery and our sport as Vice President. World Archery and its members have opportunities for the future, and I would like to see working groups formed to take advantage of these opportunities. These include assisting member associations to grow and prosper. Among the ways our federation can assist is by helping member associations implement best practices and share ideas as to how to improve and expand our sport in their countries, provide services to their members, reduce barriers that member associations face to participate in international tournaments, and create facilities and opportunities where people can learn and shoot archery. I have seen over the years that to attract people to our sport, they must have a place where they can learn and practice. 2, assisting continental associations to best address the needs of their members and encourage cost-effective virtual meetings among continental associations to share ideas. 3, promoting interaction among committees in a cost-effective manner, such as through Teams or Zoom meetings. While the World Archery committees have an in-person meeting every 2 years, I have seen the benefits of these meetings, and I would like to see more virtual meetings held. And 4, creating ad hoc committees to focus on specific issues, such as, for example, the needs of elite, youth, master, and recreational level archers, each of which have different needs and solutions. I would like to sincerely thank you for your support over the last 25 years, and I hope that you will support me in this election. I look forward to continuing to do everything I can to continue the success of our federation and our sport. Thank you.
Mr. Miller, well done. Yellow card, only 5 seconds over time, so it's okay. So, now we come to Carina Olsson. Please, the floor is yours.
Dear archery friends, my name is Carina Olsson. I'm an archer. I've been in archery since I was 8 years old. Now I'm shooting compound, but I've been shooting recurve for many, many years. So yes, archery is my passion. I've been president for the Swedish Archery Federation for a couple of years. I'm also board member of World Archery since 2021. And I'm also board member of the Swedish Olympic Committee. We are 8 members there from different sports. And I'm founder of an archery club in Sweden. It's our top 10 when it's come to number of members. So this is what I do that I don't get paid for, but I also have a profession. I'm CEO for the Swedish clearinghouse Bankgirot. It's also a payment company with 600 people. So I have different top management roles in mostly in the finance and banking industry. So my top 3 then, when it's come to World Archery, I would like to continue to develop the event that we have to attract more audience, social media, media, and also, of course, sponsors. We need that. But also always to keep our athletes in focus. That's very important. And more women in leading positions. Many of you are here today, and we have great colleagues at home as well. Let's support each other, and I hope I can contribute there. And last but not least, when it's come to good governance, continue the important work of good governance that World Archery has already started, openness, transparency, and so on. So I have a passion for this sport, and I also think I can contribute even more going forward. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Carina. And now we change the subject. We have 10 minutes now. So it means we come to the president candidates. And now I'm right, Constance. We start with Mr. Greg Easton. The floor is yours, Greg.
Thank you, Jorg. Dear delegates, fellow archers, and friends of our global archery family, I'm humbled to be addressing such a dedicated group of archery enthusiasts. Thank you for this honor. My family company began over 100 years ago, and for 3 generations we have worked to honor and give back to this great sport of archery. I watched as my father served as World Archery President and an IOC member. And I learned from his example that service is the greatest form of gratitude. I am grateful to be here with you today for the connections we have made and the ideas we have shared. This Congress is where we come together and stay on point for the future of archery. Over the past 6 months, I have spoken with and listened to over 100 of our member associations. I've been inspired by your passion and your dedication in leading your federations. Many of you give your time, your energy, and even some of your own resources to support your federation. Your dedication is a critical reason why I'm running for World Archery President, to give back to this great sport. I too will be a volunteer. I will not be taking a salary. Instead, those funds will remain in the organization and redirected to improve services for our member associations. My experience has helped me become the leader World Archery needs. For nearly 30 years, I have led teams in both business and sport, learning how to set a vision, put together the right team, and empower them to succeed. I bring a global perspective, having lived and worked in 4 of our 5 continental associations. I have been an athlete, a manufacturer, a technical delegate, an organizer, and a board member. Another critical trait for an effective leader is to be transparent. So let me begin by answering some questions I have been asked. For example, why did you step down from the World Archery Board? Well, it was a very difficult decision at the time. However, I had personal and professional matters that required my full attention. Stepping away was the right decision at the time, and those matters are now fully resolved. Please know that I have the clarity, the focus, and 100% commitment to lead World Archery for the full mandate. Another question some of you asked was, well, why run for president? Well, it is because I heard your calls for change, your calls for more listening, more collaboration, and more responsiveness. Also, because effective and lasting change requires experienced leadership, and that's what I will bring to World Archery. And some of you ask questions about potential conflicts of interest. This is a challenge faced by all leaders. The key is how you manage them. I have fully disclosed all of my potential conflicts, and today I give you all this pledge. Serving World Archery will always be my primary interest during my mandate. Some of you have heard my arrow metaphor. It has to do with the arrow and the parts that make it whole. The point of the arrow, and really the point of why we are all here, are the archers. Their dedication, discipline, and courage are what drive this sport forward. You, the member associations, are the strong shaft. You give the arrow structure and strength, supporting every other part. Without your steady commitment, our arrow could never stay true. Our partners and supporters make up the fletching. They provide us guidance and direction, keeping us on course. And World Archery is the knock, the connection between the bow's power and the arrow itself, launching us towards our shared destiny of greatness. Without a strong knock, even the best arrow cannot achieve its full potential. When every part is in harmony, the arrow flies true, reaching distances and accuracy we never thought possible. But if it is weak, disconnected, or misaligned, we fall short of our potential and we miss our target. My vision is simple yet profound: to ensure that all parts of this arrow are strong, connected, and flying true towards a future worthy of our sport's magnificent heritage. There are 4 pillars supporting my vision. The first pillar, member associations and the athletes. Under my leadership, World Archery will focus on supporting our federations with excellence in customer service and development programs that are tailored to your needs and delivered locally. In addition, our athletes will have a stronger voice through real collaboration, engagement, and listening. The second pillar is events. I have heard your concerns. Events are too expensive. We will change that. We will create a flexible hosting model that allows more nations to welcome the world. We will audit every requirement, keeping only what truly serves our athletes and our sport's growth. Doing that will lower the cost of attending. The third pillar is governance. Governance is about trust. Trust comes when every voice is heard, every concern is respected, and decisions reflect the wisdom of the whole. Too often, decisions have felt distant. That changes now. We will keep the doors open, show you how your input changes our actions and standards, and we will follow these highest standards because our sport deserves that. I will lead by listening before speaking, collaborating rather than controlling, and only serving to strengthen the sport of archery. And finally, our fourth pillar, our sport. Archery is timeless, yet we face new challenges with today's media and how people engage with the sport. Here, I see opportunity. We will make events more engaging by using new digital tools that bring fans closer to the best of our sport. We will empower athletes to share their stories authentically, connecting with new fans. And we will embrace innovation without losing sight of the traditions that make archery unique. These are the pillars and promises that I make. From listening to you, I've shaped these pillars, and I've heard hundreds of ideas. With my over 30 years of experience, I know that these ideas can be converted into actionable policies immediately. One of the policies, for example, is vote for all. With our new voting system, we could allow member associations that are unable to travel to cast their votes remotely. Another change is to alter the makeup of the executive board and give the continental presidents a fixed seat on the board, strengthening your regional representation. Finally, Archery TV Plus. I believe we should change our streaming model to embrace fans who want to watch but are discouraged by having a paywall. Of course, you will hear other ideas and promises today and many discussions tonight, but I have a simple request. Please, vote for what you believe is best for your federation and for the future of archery. Before closing, I must thank my fantastic campaign team, my many, many collaborators from around the world, and my family for their support. It meant a lot to me. Also, I want to thank you, my dear friends, for your words of wisdom and encouragement. For me, the path forward is clear, but it is not one I can walk alone. It is a path for over 150 nations, countless athletes, and millions of archery enthusiasts. I am not asking you to follow me. I'm asking you to join me. Together, we can build a world archery that is more collaborative, more responsive, and more successful than ever before. A world archery that listens first, acts with purpose, and serves its members with the same dedication our athletes bring to every shot. Together, we will ensure that our arrow flies true and inspires generations to come. Just as every part of this arrow must work in harmony, so must we. Esteemed colleagues, I am prepared to listen, qualified to lead, and will be honored to serve. So, with all humility, I ask for your support. Of course, the choice is yours, but the moment is now, and the future is waiting for us to all be together and on point. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg. And I call now Tom Dielen. The floor is yours, Tom.
Dear archery family, dear friends, tomorrow you're going to elect a new president for our organization, for World Archery. And this is not something that happens very often. In fact, over the past close to 50 years, World Archery has only had 3 presidents. Following the successful reintroduction of archery to the Olympics under the leadership of Mrs. Ingrid Fritz, Mr. Francesco Necchi Rusconi from Italy created a strong foundation for our sport and started the transition to make our sport more attractive. Mr. James, or Jim Easton, Greg's father, who was a great president and renewed the sport in many ways, and was able to save the team rounds from disappearing from the Olympic program. And then, 20 years ago, in Madrid, our current president, Professor Dr. Edner, took over and led the organization through a period of massive growth and increased Olympic recognition. Now we have in place a good system with term limits for all positions in world archery. So your new president can only stay 12 years. But our history shows the importance of the role. So your decision tomorrow is important. And I hope you appreciate that you are part of an historical event. At the same time, we must all be aware that such occasions includes both risks and opportunities. Because these presidents were all very competent, who knew their sport very well, and who had a strong understanding of the global environment in which we are operating. But more importantly, they were very well connected on international level due to the fact that they were committed to the role of being president. Connected and committed are key words for me. They are the main reason why I decided to put my name forward for becoming your next president. Because after having spent most of my life in our sport, in many various roles, from local to national and then on international level, I could just not live with the risk of seeing the great progress made over the last years being weakened due to a lack of connections and commitment. We are doing well in archery on a global level, and you are doing a great job on a national level. We can in fact proudly say that we have been overperforming. But despite all the progress, latest with the inclusion of compound in the Olympic program, the international sports world, not at least the Olympic world, is undergoing many changes, and we have to stay very close to all the decision makers and their influencers. Add to that the general context of uncertainty of the world, with wars, with tariffs of trade being introduced, visa restrictions, which have touched many of you already this year in some countries, which can heavily affect athletes from many countries, not to mention the question of climate change. So our situation is still good, but also it is to a certain degree rather fragile. And while there are always things to improve, and while no one has all the answers on how to further develop world archery, two things are evident. We need to continue being very strongly connected on all levels, from IOC to wider international sports world, and to both commercial and political level partnerships. And to secure such important connections requires a strong commitment from all key people of our organization, from the staff in the office, as well as the new president and our executive board. The time where the leadership of an Olympic International Federation could be managed over the weekend and with some occasional meetings is over. Archery has moved beyond that point a long time ago, and we should never accept to go backwards and put our strong position at risk. Talking about leadership, it is clear to all that our current president leaves a very big gap to fill. Starting tomorrow, right after you have made your choice, this gap has to be filled. We are all very much aware of this. But a new president is also an opportunity to renew and re-energize our work, to make our sport even stronger, even more attractive and even more exciting on a national and on an international level. I feel myself very excited about this opportunity, and my vision for global archery is based on 5 strong pillars. A stronger and more connected world archery. This means more focus on education and improving the communication through the biannual World Archery Forum that will be combined with the Joint Committees meeting. More athletes, more fans, and more opportunities where we explore more opportunities to introduce archery to young and old with safe and adapted tools and engage the fans through all types of media. Further, grow our Olympic and Paralympic sport globally. This means creating stars in the lead-up to Los Angeles and Brisbane. We should continue our focus on our vision and mission with a world in which everyone has the opportunity to practice, engage with, and enjoy the important Olympic sport of archery, and with it the mission of giving you the tools to do so. And with all of this, always having you as the member associations playing a key role. World Archery is an umbrella, it's a shell, and it's only as strong as all of you together. And together, we are committed to doing this while ensuring our growth is sustainable and responsible for future generations. Your decision matters. To keep everything together, to bring all of you together, you're going to elect a new president tomorrow. As I mentioned, this is a kind of historic event, and it comes with a big responsibility. Having spent a big part of my life together with many of you, I know that you are fully ready and capable to make that decision for World Archery. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom, and I think we have to say thank you to all the 5 candidates. They mastered their first challenge, and that was a presentation. I think that was a well-done job from 5 candidates. We can be proud to have them here in our archery family. Big applause to our 5 candidates. So, and now it's finished for me. You know who is closing this meeting. It's always the president.
My dear friend, first of all, I thank you very much for managing this important part of our meeting today. Dear friends, we are reaching to the end of our first day of the Congress. You should be a little bit tired all day, but I think we had a really very fruitful first day here in this wonderful place. I can give you an example related to motions part. It was completed in a really record timing. I saw in the last 20 years. Now you need some relaxing. I want to close the meeting today, and a cocktail is waiting for you outside for a little bit relaxing. Thank you very much for attending the meeting today, and see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.
Just 1 or 2 housekeeping announcements. Voting delegates, please take care of your voting cards and take it with you tonight. Bring it back tomorrow morning. It will be useful. So the cocktail reception is just outside the room, and that's all for me. So see you there, and good night, good evening.